I want to talk to you today why I believe there's no value in overtime. Now, it's not as black and white as it sounds, a little bit of hyperbole there in the title, which I try to avoid, to be honest, but I do think it's an important message because I fell foul of it for many years in my career. I see people fall foul of it time and again now, and it doesn't serve anybody, yourself as the freelancer, the self-employed person with a small business, or the client, the project, whatever it may be that you're working on. Working overtime isn't going to be effective for you. Now, there's some statistics out there. I've talked about this on a previous podcast about productivity, where if you work over 50 hours approximately, you really start to see a significant drop in your productivity and output. Now, how many times have we done this where we've had a project due and we've got a deadline and we've worked late into the night, maybe even to the early hours, and we're really tired, we're really drained, but we know we've got to get the work out. We'll just keep going, keep pushing through, maybe drinking coffees, Red Bull, whatever it might be, and then we come back to that work with a little bit of a sleep, probably not our best still, but we come back with a little bit of rest in the morning, look at the project, and it's just, we know it's so far from our best work. What do we end up doing? We end up deleting it, we end up replacing it, we end up telling the client that we're going to be beyond the deadline because we just cannot send over that quality of work. And that's probably actually the better decision at that point, because if you send over that quality of work, then it's not going to be a very good representative of you, and you're probably not going to get much more work with that client. So it never serves us to work over that amount of time. Now, what I have to get away from here is because I do think there is value when you're starting out to have obviously a really good work ethic and work hard. And sometimes you just do need to put those extra hours in here and there. But when you're getting beyond 50, 60, 70 hours, you're definitely not seeing value for your time. And actually, you're just causing problems for yourself in the future because you have to go back and restart that work again. You're much better served by pausing. If you have to let people know, let the people know as much as in advance as they can. If you're taking on more than you can chew, it does happen from time to time. Obviously, we try to avoid it, but let all parties know in advance, pause, come back to it fresh, and ultimately, you're going to be much more satisfied with the quality of the work you're going to be delivering for that client. Now, there's a bit of a wider context to this as well regarding sort of burnout as well. If you do that too many times, you're going to get to a point where you get either to burnout or very close to doing that. What happens then is that you're absolutely going to tank, and you may, there's lots of articles written about burnout that can sometimes be for a few days, weeks, months, and even years where you're really not performing because you just put too much in over a significant period of time. So you're much better served by pausing, relaxing, and coming back. And even if you need to take a day or two, I've done this multiple times over the last couple of years since learning from my mistakes of putting in too many hours and working overtime as I thought it was the right thing to do. Pausing for a few days, relaxing, taking a bit of a breather, taking myself away off into a different location, a little bit of a break somewhere maybe, coming back afresh, and then I'll be able to hit the ground running for a period of time again before I need another little breather. Whereas if you push yourself just over that line too many times, it's going to come back to bite you. And then, like I say, you can be out of the game for multiple weeks and even months where you're really underperforming. So the net loss of that little bit of extra overtime for a few weeks is never worth it. And as I said before, you're actually delivering low quality work anyway. So I really don't believe there's value in significant overtime. I think there's a lot of what's the phrase? I mean, there's a lot of showing off. I think sometimes where you see these, it's getting better these days, I would say, but you see on Twitter or LinkedIn people posing or posting about how long hours they're working and how many, projects they managed to get out this week and everything. Now, I'm all one for championing people and celebrating success. Absolutely love a bit of ambition and people going on and achieving their goals. But that type of personal branding or marketing, I don't think serves anyone very well. Of course, you have to have a work ethic. Of course, you have to work hard. I believe you need to work a lot smarter than sometimes things are portrayed. There's value when you're starting out, I think, in having a great mindset like that. For the first 10 years of my career, I certainly worked significantly harder, I would say, than I do now. I work a lot smarter, however, and probably learn from that experience. There probably is a bit of a hurdle and a lesson that you can only learn yourself through going through that. But just be mindful of those when you consistently put in weeks of over 50 hours. I don't think you're serving yourself, your client, or your health any well for that matter. So there's my view on why working overtime isn't any good for you.